Well, a quick little update on the Orion SPLX HCCA. This is my big motor, and then that's the Orion HCCA. The kit showed up pretty quick from Amazon. It's the wrong kit. It's the regular SPL. This is the SPLX, which is longer, taller. Just had the guy come up and had to give him the bad news. I was basically doing the Recone in front of him. So what we're going to do, it looks like the part either doesn't exist at all or it's going to be very, very expensive. So I'm going to save time and just rebuild this better. So you can see the leads on there. It's doubled up, but it's really not that big of a deal. I can put twice as many leads since it's going to use two spiders. We can reuse this cone. I'll have to replace that dust cap. There is an inner dust cap. It's not very strong. It's kind of flimsy. The kit, however, though, came with the needles, which go up the backside and is meant to shim on the inside of the, I think it's the inside. The problem was the needles kept pulling to the top plate. And so it was a little weird. I hadn't done one in a long time. It came with all the hardware though. But I'm going to go ahead and send everything back the way it was. Let me show you the kit. I mean, it's a perfectly good kit. It's just for the wrong model. So, big old voice coil. Looks very similar. Yeah, this one just sits up. This one is way shorter. So this one's much deeper. Not that that really makes a difference. This is a pressed cone. This is a non-pressed cone. I prefer the pressed cone, but whatever. And so, let's see. It's about the same. This is the 130489 from Lord of Bass, which I use a lot. It's a dual 2. This one fits really well. I prefer this one. I also found that the old TC Sounds 5200, this is the dual 1, fits as well. It's a little tighter, but it's not terrible. I do like the longer former, but this one has a deep cone, so we may be able to get away with that. He's using an Teraamps MD 8000, which is smart 8000, so it's half ohm stable, and that's what he was running it at, was half ohm. So somebody was asking about, you know, how did he slinky it? They only rate this thing at 7,500, which I thought was kind of odd. For the SPLX, they probably should have gone to Neo, and then they also should have gone to like a Neo can motor. Would have been cheap and not so heavy, a little more. But what's funny is, again, brands like Kicker and, you know, even Orion. Orion is from Brazil, and so a lot of stuff that they pitch is to you know, ESL, Spanish, ESL, English is a second language. So either English is their second language or Spanish is their primary, kind of, you know, like macho, tough, you know, this is what real men buy, and it's kind of silly. So Orion can do better, and they can definitely supply kits, but they don't. I do like that this is rubber surround. I wish that this was string reinforced. That would have been better. It's pretty flimsy for being so expensive. This one, which is the wrong one, was $550. The spider is not very stiff. Again, this is an SPL product. You'd want some more suspension. And what I think he did was actually bottom it out. So, but again, those are just my opinion. Crushed butthole. We'll trim up that stitching as well, just to try to make it nice for him to be able to reuse. While I have this here though, I think I can see if I can trim up the GONZO cone real close like we do for the Rockford T2 frames. We don't trim it this close, but we trim it pretty close so that it fits in there. But we might be able to trim one just to see if we can make a kit for the Orions. But we'll see how the Amazon vendor responds to my request for a return. So the other one was we got a EVL 12 in that someone decided to paint yellow for the audio legend that is Curtis Navarro. I also found that it was interesting, these use it's at least 55 if not 60 millimeter tall wine height, but they only use the 7.5 inch spider landing, which I thought was interesting. I'd like to build them with the top landing, the 8-inch spider, but again, that's just me, and then maybe not so long on the coil. So maybe that's why they got double spacers. I don't know. And it is actually pretty long here in the bumped and vented area, so maybe it does accommodate that. Top plate looks like it's only 13 millimeter, which is standard, 1/2 inch. And then we also got this Pride one in. It looks like it's a regular ceramic. It just has this modular stuff. And they did modular, but they did it on a stamp frame, which I thought was kind of dumb. And then I think that got a little too warm. So some stuff is modular. It's good. A lot of times what they do is they make the modules proprietary, so you have to buy them from them. And again, that's another way to control. Yeah, these tinsels are burned up. Somebody just pushed it too hard. This is a 10, yeah. So again, they make them proprietary so that you have to buy those parts from them, and then they control that whenever they don't want to honor it. Much in the same way that Apple has been doing for years, when they just, fuck you, we want more money. They can just say, we don't service that product anymore, and then there's no more parts. That's the end of it. You have to buy a new one. So again, I don't recommend that stuff. I recommend open tool. Scar is great for that. They didn't pay any tooling for this. Maybe on the boot. I threw away the boot though, because it had spray paint on it. But I'll just keep this for a Recone jig. It's good for that. I only got it for like 40 bucks, which I thought was a good deal. But, and then I wanted to talk about the spider spacer, or this is the spider clamp device, the device that, because I have all the hardware here and I have the frame here, I should be able to undo these spiders, clean up all this epoxy and the spiders. I'll do 2 of my spiders. Let me show you the ones I use. So I use a 2-layer with quad leads. So basically the same leads that they had, but I'll use 2 of those spiders. Oh, here's the 9 1/4. So yeah, I'll use 2 of these, and they'll be spaced. And that's much more strong than what they had. These are 2-layer laminated with silicone, like in big titties. Oh, and then just a quick review on these. I think I'm going to add another slug to them. So, because there's room. So here's the one we spray painted the other day. Turned out actually really nice. I like it. It's good enough. See, it's just not gonzo enough. I don't want to be like Jacob and have that big butt plug sticking out. So we'll do another slug, and so that way it'll be, yeah, that's right. Remember, you got to do the handies not hate. So the power of peace is in your fist. So and create world peace by giving hand jobs to weirdos. Love you guys.